Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you so much, you guys, as always, for being here, and a very happy birthday to you guys. Okay, Sag, so looking at your last week of November, you pulled witness, perseverance, and forward movement. So, witness is talking about not denying your experience. It also talks about how others may be telling you that what you have experienced or witnessed isn't real. It's almost like somebody telling you that your feelings aren't valid, right? But this is a warning here that you shouldn't be denying what your experiences are, because you may be giving up before a miracle or a change happens and you start to see the things that you desire manifest. And then you have forward movement. And this is like, both of these are keep going, right? So the blessing with witness says that the veils of illusion and deceit have lifted. While this can be painful, it's also a great blessing to know the truth. Don't doubt your experience. And when you're looking at perseverance, besides giving up before the miracle takes place, the inspiration says, when we do our chosen work, we are serving the highest order. If we stop, we upset the universal balance. What you work toward will materialize. You may not see it, but it lies ahead. So some of you, may be doubting that what you're wanting is going to manifest. And there may be this feeling of like just wanting to give up. But the thing is when you're talking about your chosen work, right, and upsetting a universal balance, it's basically saying when you stop doing the thing that you love, that you feel like you're meant to do, everything within you becomes unbalanced. And then through that, your experience is reflected back to you the same way, right? So everything in the outside world looks unbalanced. But forward movement, it says nothing ever stays the same. Life is a constant state of change. This is an undeniable law of nature. You may feel you are in the middle of challenging circumstances. Take heart and trust things are already changing for the better. Things are moving even though you cannot see it happening. So very much this big message of I'm not seeing what I want manifest. And there may be, like I said, this want to give up. But it's there, like it already exists. The moment that you think about it, it's already there. It's just a matter of, getting to the frequency where you start to see it manifest in your outer world, right? But witness, though, that one always has this feeling of like people trying to deny what your truth is. And again, right, like not denying your experience is important with that. The King of Pentacles. So success, and also knowing what is worth taking a risk on. For some of you, we could be talking about a person. And for some of you, looking at the Oracle cards in the King of Pentacles, right, it's wanting to give up on a particular path in your career, but now may not be the time to do that. And that's only going to be for some of you. Your overall, the High Priestess. It's always interesting to me when she's the overall here because, first of all, we're talking about what your intuition is telling you. Right? She's inviting you into that hidden information. Now, this could be about you keeping things to yourself or finding out about something that is going on around you that you already intuitively knew. So we'll see how she's playing out here. In the past, the Wheel of Fortune, okay, so a repeating cycle, but things turning in a better direction, hopefully here. But with the High Priestess, I'm wondering if you're not kind of like keeping all of this to yourself. right? Like things that are going on within you and things that you're noticing in your outer world, right? Like you're keeping it to yourself, but it's like changing the cycle that you're in right now. Oh yeah, okay. So in the present, the Eight of Cups, walking away from what is not emotionally fulfilling you. And I want to see what's going on here. And I already know that this is the Knight of Cups because this card, this poor card, took damage. So the Eight of Cups and then the Knight of Cups. This is like, I'm not really opening up to anybody about what I'm experiencing, but things are changing and moving in a different direction. You are no longer wanting to continue to do things that are no longer fulfilling for you, right? And then moving into the Knight of Cups, this is like your actions have changed where you're trusting yourself in what you feel. Where you may not have been, but I think that for some of you, this is either about emotional support coming through, somebody saying, hey, I understand where you're coming from. It's shared emotion, but it's also you acting from your heart, right? Following your heart, letting your heart take the lead. Your best path to follow, the Seven of Swords. Interesting. So now secrets, absolutely. And I just got done talking to Scorpio about this one too. This one to me feels like picking up the pieces after finding out about deception. But the Seven of Swords, though, is your advice, right? Like, I think that it's important for you to understand how much time you may have wasted in situations that weren't exactly open and honest. For some of you, you know that maybe something is going on. And this is be careful how you let these kinds of situations affect the way that you act. So I feel like there's almost like a caution here, be careful of emotional reactions to people who are looking to deceive you, right? Now, the other part of this, though, too, never mind that. This could be about you needing to kind of keep your plans to yourself. It's funny. It reminds me of something that I hear quite frequently about, keeping what you're desiring to yourself, not to talk about it with other people because the potential for them to shoot it down or criticize or minimize it can affect your own manifestation, right? But because of the Eight of Cups here, I think for some of you, it's realizing that you've been investing too much of your emotions into something that was not honest. But I also look at this and think, be careful about how this affects the action that you take. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles in your environment with the Eight of Cups, this is like, I'm still dealing with this. And now it's time for you to make the choice. Are you going to change the situation? And this may be, an opportunity for you to make the choice here to finally walk away from what isn't fulfilling you anymore. And that is because with the Wheel of Fortune, again, there's a change in the cycle. Another opportunity may be coming around for you to change the way things are moving. But with the Two of Pentacles, again, you're playing with it. You're keeping something in the air, like, in having to do the balancing act. And I think, for some of you, if you've been depleted too much emotionally, the other thing too here that I would caution is trust your intuition if something is coming to you that doesn't seem honest. Make sure that you're trusting yourself if you're dealing with somebody coming through that is wanting to share something with you emotionally. If you start to, notice anything, trust that feeling. But, also make sure that you're asking yourself, well, what is my intention in this and what is theirs? right? What are the intentions? Because this would suggest that it's not clear or it's deceptive, right? Your hopes and your fears, the Six of Pentacles, and that would make sense with the Eight of Cups, right? Wanting a situation that's more equal give and take. And with the Knight of Cups here, you know, there may be a hope here that there's like this kind of like equal understanding back and forth with someone. But I don't know. This to me just seems real sketch. You know what I mean? And it may be that you emotionally get pulled into something, again, that you're already dealing with. Like, you're already dealing with all of that. And I feel like this time you can change the way that the cycle is going to go. I feel like the door is opening, right? Stop keeping things going that aren't giving you anything in return. But also be careful about what is coming to you or who is coming to you. And I say that again because of the Seven of Swords here. Like, you want to make sure you know what the intentions are. And that's interesting. The Three of Wands coming out. This is almost like, instead of getting involved emotionally with another person or a situation, I think even though an offer may be made, some of you may be looking at what else is available to you. You may be waiting for something else to show up. But I don't think that, you know, you're letting anybody in on what is going on within you. Like, you're fully aware of what is happening in your outer world and in your environment, right? But your intuition is what's going to guide you through this. And I think for some of you, it may be I'm trusting that my intuition is leading me in a different direction than having to repeat the same cycle that you may have been through before. The Four of Swords, okay? You know, and again, right, like not talking about things. But that's recovery, though, too. The Seven of Cups. And I think that, you know, it's... Some of you may start to realize that the choices available to you and the things that you keep kind of like balancing out aren't going to, you know, amount to anything, because with the Seven of Cups, you know, you're talking about fantasizing, right? And then the Six of Cups, the past. The past and the past experience, I think, is going to help you see that there are other opportunities, other things available to you, other pathways that you could follow. But with the Four of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, right, like where this cycle ended, it may have left you in a place where you've had to do some recovery, you know, taking some time out to just be with yourself, do some healing, heal the mind, clear out all of the thoughts going on in your mind, right? Realizing that there is this unfulfillment with the Eight of Cups, but you haven't really made a choice here, and you may be continuing to play with something that's not going to amount to anything. You know, we're talking about the choices that are available, but the things that aren't happening, right? But, you know, I think for you, again, the past is going to come up in a way emotionally for you based on what is coming through with this Knight of Cups. That's going to change the way that you're seeing what direction you're headed in. And you may be making yourself available for something different to come through. And this may be where the waiting process is going to start. And I feel like, going back to the Oracle cards, right, there's the need to continue to keep moving, even though you may not see what you want manifest. But we're talking about a 3 here that's all about manifestation, right? So eventually here you're going to start to see something coming into you based on the change of emotions that you have with the cycles that you've been through. But I think that this Knight of Cups, right, it's one of two things. It's either somebody coming through who understands something that you may have been waiting for, but for others of you, I would say that this may be an offer that comes through that's going to look very familiar. Tranquility, right? And with the Four of Swords, it makes sense. Wanting to be in a more tranquil place. Purpose. And inner voice. So by finding inner tranquility, you will understand the purpose of the experience and why the repeating cycle is happening again. But your inner voice and the High Priestess, again, right? Like trusting what your intuition is telling you. Grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. And then rejuvenating rain. Clear the past, heal the present. There you go. I would be careful about anything coming to you that looks familiar to what you've experienced before that's left you emotionally drained. But make sure that you stay open to what you are actually desiring. Because again, with this Wheel of Fortune, I feel like there's going to be an opportunity here for you to do things different this time around.